So I played golf yesterday, first time in quite a while, and I didn't have my A game. I hit the ball pretty bad, actually. Managed to scrape it around and shoot a reasonable score. Got it around, I think, 1 under par, but it wasn't exactly pretty. So after my round, I decided I'd go to the range and figure out why I was so off. So in my case, it's nice that I'm able to analyze my own golf swings. I have awesome tools from video software, CoachNow, that we use for analyzing the swings of our students, and TrackMan. So I went and I filmed myself in the CoachNow app, and I looked at the video, and immediately I saw, oh wow, my setup stinks. So let me show you what was off. So as I was setting up, I could see my entire left arm under my right arm. My chest was really open. My ball position was forward of where I normally play it. I normally play it pretty forward, but it was a little forward of that with my chest like this. Normally play a cut, and my cut was like, not a cut, it was a double cut. It was like a lot yesterday. So when I saw that, I immediately made a couple changes to my setup, and wouldn't you know it, all of a sudden I was hitting it good again. If you're new to our channel, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified of all upcoming videos. So from face on, this is what I was seeing. The ball position was pretty forward, my stance was open, and my shoulders, my chest looked something like this. So the change I made, the ball moved back about 1 inch. My left arm got more on top of my chest, and my right arm got a little softer. Now my chest is square. And so all of a sudden now my path is able to come from the inside, and my attack angle was about right. I was actually hitting up way more than I normally do with driver, and my iron attack angle was way too level, almost up. So one interesting thing about my misses for the day were all on the toe. Irons, woods, everything. I was hitting everything off the toe. An example of the bad swings where my ball position's too forward, shoulders a little too open. I catch the ball a little high, a little toe. Don't get a very good smash factor. I actually think that misread. I think it was higher and more toe than that. You can see the ball speed's really slow for the club head speed. Spin's good, launch is good, but my path is 5 to the left, my attack's up, and my club face is really open relative to that path, 4.4. So that ball was just like a high block cut, or started straight and just cut a mile. So here's, after I fixed my setup, the very first ball. You can see the path is going to be a lot less to the left, and the face is going to be a lot closer to square to that path. So if you're hitting it off the toe, maybe something to look at is ball position and setup. If you get this way, it's going to tend to create too much of a swipe across. So after making the change and getting my setup correct, I was able to go back to my normal shot, which is just a little bit of a push fade instead of a push toe slice. So it neutralized things quite a lot. So it'll look something like this. So oftentimes, changes can be as simple as setup, especially for a player that's already got a really good pattern. So it's really nice to have my golf pod, which is an awesome tripod system that's really easy to carry in my bag and set up. So the golf pod combined with CoachNow makes for really easy analysis, and it's easy to figure out where I'm off. And it can be for you too. We all need that feedback. Feedback's really important for us to be able to develop as players and to be able to stay on track. And if you're not able to analyze your own golf swing, you need a second set of eyes that can do that for you and help keep you on track and help keep you progressing in your game. So to help get you started, here's a quick video on how to set up your camera so you can get the feedback that you need.
Today we wanted to walk you through how to set up your golf pod to help you film your swing and get the best angles. This is really crucial if you're going to start doing your own swing analysis or send videos off to a coach so they can look at them. So what we've done here, Milo, is we've put an alignment stick basically parallel to our target. So our targets out there are kind of that black flag or those two tall trees in front of the clubhouse. So this line is actually parallel to that line. So it's basically a railroad. So one little trick you can actually do is put a second alignment stick on the actual target line, so at that black flag we talked about, and make it parallel to our sort of setup line that we're going to use to kind of align our bodies and our feet.
For sure.
So you're making a nice little railroad here. So Milo, why don't you talk them through how you want them to set up that tripod in relation to these lines?
But generally, I like the tripod to be somewhat close to hand height, maybe just a little above, somewhere between our hands and our elbows for height. And then I like it, if I'm set up here, I like it more or less shooting through my forearms. So right on that line, down the target line.
Yeah, so roughly this alignment stick we have on the ground.
Yeah, that alignment stick's pretty darn close, right? It's so maybe just inside that alignment stick, but not much, pretty much right there.
Yes.
And then about 4 paces back, 12 feet, something like that.
So typically the camera, we like sort of that 10 to 12 foot range.
Yep.
I think Golf Pod recommends they like the camera height just above the wrist bone here. So if I actually went up to this camera, you guys would see I've already measured this out. So if I get in golf posture, and I put my hands here, that's basically right on the camera height. So that's a good way to kind of get it all set up for you.
Yep.
And then get it sort of in line with that left side of the railroad, we call it. So it's down that forearm, that wrist bone.
Yep, shooting right through the hand line basically toward the target.
And that's going to give us a nice look sort of up the swing plane on both sides. So
generally that gives you the least amount of distortion, because cameras distort, and wherever you put it on the line can show up as distortion.
Yeah, it can make you look too steep, it can make you look too underneath. There's some things that can happen even if the camera is just a few feet off. So we try to get it in that range as best we can every single time. Milo, why don't you hit one for them just so they can see it on our second camera, how it looks. We're good, you hit it pretty well.
I did.
So that's down the line. Let's show you face on now on how to set the camera up. All right, so for face on, pretty much the same concept. We're gonna have that camera about 10, 12 feet away. We want it on the same height, so you don't even need to adjust the height of the camera. And we want it basically now right on the hands. So if I drew a line through here, if I crisscross this guy, and that's gonna run ideally somewhere right through the lens. So it's basically right on the hands from face on.
Sweet.
All right, Milo, so let's see a face on just so they can see that on camera as well. Nice.
So once you've taken some good quality videos of your own swing, a swing analysis app like CoachNow can be a very helpful tool for analyzing your swing. And if you're not able to do it yourself, you can send it off to a coach that can help analyze it for you and get you on the right track. So for those of you that struggle with the club coming a little from the outside, maybe with a little open face, a really nice change in your setup could be getting your chest a little more square, your arms feeling like their left arm is a little more on top of the right arm as you take your grip. That actually will promote the grip being a hair stronger. If my shoulders start to look like this grip wants to get weak, this right hand wants to get too much on top. If I get everything to rotate a little bit more, now I've got that good grip, more strong how I like it, and it becomes easier for me to create a square face and a little more in to out path. So remember, one of the biggest keys to progressing in the game is quality feedback. Having good tools like the Golf Pod and CoachNow, and good camera setup, and a competent set of eyes that can help lead you down the correct path is critical. As I found out in this case, the ability to get some feedback got me back on the right track fairly quickly. So if you'd like help with your own swings, please come visit us at milolinesgolf.com, get set up on CoachNow, and we'll be happy to help you out.